Hi guys, you welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we want to take a look at the qualitative analysis test of 2025 Waec practical. So this goes down. 2025 Waec SWOT analysis. Credit will be given for strict adherence to instruction for observation precisely recorded and for accurate inference. So the SWOT given is sample C, and that sample C is copper 2 sulfate, or you call it copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6. Exactly. Now that is the salt given. And what is that color of that salt? When looking at it, it is what? Blue. Now guys, back to what we are asked to do. White are given some reagents which can be easily be tested with the sample C. And how can we deduce our answer? Don't forget, this is alternative to practical, and I can assure you that this particular thing you have on the board is 90% certain that this is what Waec is going to give you. But know one thing as a student, not it, because in your examination that day, all this observation and inference might be blank, or the test might be blank. So as a student, you have to fill in the correct answer. So as a result, come closer as a student who are willing to pass or to excel in their forthcoming chemistry practical examination. The first thing is sample C, but plus distilled water. And what is the measurement of that sample C into the test tube? So if you are given the salt, which is sample C, pick little out of that salt with a spatula and divide it into two portions. The first portion will be for sample C plus distilled water. So when you pour that into the test tube, it will dissolve to form a blue solution. With that, sample C is a soluble mixture, because the moment out of the first and the second portion which you have divided in the salt into, it will dissolve into what? In and form a blue solution. And the inference of that is sample C is soluble in of two compound. So the second one is the second portion now, or still the first portion, since we have not discarded it yet. So you can easily test your sample C plus distilled water with litmus paper. So by that, it will turn the blue litmus paper red. That shows that you all know that if a blue litmus paper turns red, that is acidic. So sample C is acidic in nature. Among the reagent provided is barium chloride, ammonia, we have sodium hydroxide, Fehling solution A and B, as well as hydrochloric acid. Now back to this now. Sample C plus barium chloride will give us a white precipitate. With that, we have three different compounds that can be detected. As a result of that, we can easily say carbonate, sulfur 3-oxide, and sulfur 4-oxide is present. Those are the three compounds either used, present, or confirmed. Is that clear now? The next one is sample C plus that barium chloride. That is the second portion. So you have to add HCl to it. By adding HCl to it, the precipitate does not dissolve in HCl. With that, we have sulfate is present. Are you with me now? So the next one is C plus ammonia in drops. And if you are to drop the ammonia in drops, you'll be having a light blue gelatinous precipitate. With that, copper or calcium is suspected. And the next one is that same portion of it that you have added ammonia to it in drops, you have to add more ammonia to it to be in excess. And with that, copper 2 is confirmed, or copper 2 is present. So the next one is sample C plus Fehling solution. As the tutor asked there, if you have to measure that Fehling solution, you have to measure 2 centimeters of Fehling solution A as well as Fehling solution B. With that, brick red or reddish brown is formed. With that, reduced sugar is present. In some cases, some tutor can decide to make use of glucose is present, but the correct one, or the one which we can use, is reducing sugar is present. We all know that glucose is also acceptable. So the next one is sample C plus sodium hydroxide in drop. You'll be having a pale blue precipitate form, as well as in excess the precipitate dissolved, forming a deep blue solution. With that, copper 2 is confirmed. So guys, don't forget I said earlier that credit will be given for strict adherence to the instructions. The instruction is you have to measure 2 cm cube of sample of water inside the sample C, and mind you, as a tutor, you can decide to separate or to have 3 portions or 2 portions, in as much as you are going to have your final product, which is an inference. And not one thing, when it comes to a qualitative analysis test, it is what you observed that will tell you what the inference will be. The other reagent at which Waec provided for the instruction given to each schools. We as well have sulfuric acid, but as a tutor, you need to carry out the practical sequel to the instruction given by the Waec. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment.